Hello Stampers! Are you ready to build a festive birthday scene today? I built this scene with the Elephant Parade stamp set from Stampin' Up. This is a wonderful stamp set that can be used for many different occasions. When I first saw this, I thought of baby cards, and I have made quite a few baby cards with this set. But I wanted to go with a birthday theme and use some of these stamps just to build my scene with. So we're going to go through this step by step today, and I'm going to show you how I created it, and you can do it too. So for the sentiment, I'm using the Go-To Greeting stamp set. Now this stamp set is fabulous. It's been my go-to, just like it says, Go-To Greetings for sentiments most of the time for my cards. I love these big bold sentiments, especially the script is just beautiful. So we're going to be using that today also. And I'm going to start out with a basic white panel. And this panel is 3 3/4 by 5. And you're going to be able to find all the panel sizes down below this video. Just click show more and you'll see them all listed there, along with the product links that will take you directly to my online store. So we're going to start with putting in some images first. I thought it would be better to do that just so I could fit things in correctly. So I'm going to start with Memento Tuxedo Black. And the first thing I wanted to get in was this happy birthday. This is a nice big bold sentiment, and I just wanted to make sure that I got this in and there was plenty of room around it. So I'm going to ink this up and stamp it first. I like to hold it just for a second just to make sure I've got a nice, there we go, we got our happy birthday on there. And next I'm going to add my elephant because he's very important, right? He's like the main character in this scene. So we're going to add him, and I'm going to use that same Memento Tuxedo Black. And I'm going to leave a little room in between him and the sentiment. And I'm going to come pretty much over to the left-hand side. I'm about 1/2 inch from it. So there's our little elephant guy. And then we have these leaves. There's a set of 3 leaves here. And we're going to stamp this a few times to add to our scene. I'm going to add it once over here on the right. Once up here above the elephant. And then again over here to the left. And I only stamped partially on that side. So there is mostly our images that we're going to be doing. That gives us some place to start. We know where to put our ground. We know where to put our sky now. Okay, I'm going to start with Parakeet Party, and we're going to put some in for our ground area. And I'm going to go just a little, like halfway above the elephant here. And I'm not going over the elephant, I'm kind of going around him. It's alright if you get a little bit on him. There we go. Go right over the birthday sentiment. And there is our ground area. That was Parakeet Party. Now I want to get a little darker at the bottom of my ground area. So I'm going to bring in some Old Olive, and I'm also going to use a blending brush for this. This is mainly going over the happy birthday, just to add some depth to our little scene here. So there's that. Now I'm going to get some sky going here, and we're going to bring in Tahitian Tide. And I'm going to do this with a blending brush too. And I'm just going to add some like swirls here. I'm using pretty much the tip area of my brush. I'm going around the images, and I'm leaving some white area. When you leave that white area, it starts looking like clouds in the sky, which is awesome. It takes no effort at all. And you have some clouds. I'm going to go down into that green just a little bit around the elephant there. Isn't that a fun sky? It's just a happy sky. Just doing a circular motion and making spots. And there is our sky in. That was Tahitian Tide. So now I'm going to start doing some coloring. I'm going to color in the leaves on here with, this is dark Parakeet Party. I just wanted to check that. This is a Stampin' Blend marker. These markers are awesome. You don't have to worry about having streaks in your work. So there is one set. We're just going to do all of them the same way. All right, so there's our leaves all colored in with our dark Parakeet Party. We're going to bring in some dark Old Olive. And I'm going to add some on the sides of that big leaf. Like it's casting a shadow on the leaves that are beside it. Because they're kind of under it, so it would be casting a shadow somewhat. I'm going to do that same thing with all of them. So there's our shadow on our leaves. And then I want a stem for each leaf. So I'm just going to come out down here to the bottom. And I'm adding little leaves, little stalks. And I'm just going down in the ground area just a bit. So we're going to ground these all. This one would come naturally behind our little elephant. And this one here, we'll bring down here. So there is our stems for our big leaves. I don't know what you'd call those. They're like not really shaped like the elephant leaves. But I'm going to take a fine point of the dark basic black, and I'm going to add it to the right side of all these stems. Kind of brings them to life a bit. Gives a little depth to them. There we go. So there is our plants all in. Now we're going to color our elephant. And I'm going to color him in. Let's start with his ear so I don't forget to color the inside of his ear. So I'm using a light petal pink Stampin' Blend marker for this. About any pinkish color will work. Then I'm going to use soft smoky slate, and I'm going to color the rest of him in. I'm just going to avoid his eye. I'm going to go around his eye first just so I don't color over it. And then color the rest of him in. He's just a cute little guy. I'm going to color that outside of the ear too. Colors in pretty fast. So there is his light smoky slate. Now I'm going to bring in some dark smoky slate just to get some shadows in it on him. And I'm using a brush again here. And I'm just going to go under the trunk there. Then down the front. If from his mouth down to the front of his leg. These back legs here, the ones that are on the far side, I'm going to color in. We need a shadow on his little belly here. And then I'm going to come down the back of his rump and his leg there. And then I also want to go around the outside of his ear a bit so it looks like it is sticking out. And there is all the shadowing we need for him. If you find it's not dark enough, that it kind of blends in, you can always give it another little hint of color using that same marker, because sometimes it dries and you're like, oh, what happened to my shadow? Just do it again. So there's our elephant all colored in. All right, so we're moving right along, and now we're going to do this confetti in the air. You could certainly use markers just to put dots in the air, but I wanted to use my water painter here and some nice bright colors. And I wanted them to look more organic. I didn't want them all to look like they're the same size dots or that they were even dots at all. I wanted it to look more like confetti. So I'm going to start with Highland Heather, and I'm just going to press my pad into the lid while it's closed. And then I have a little puddle here that I can use with my aqua painter. I'm just going to add a little cut water to this just by squeezing my aqua painter. And then I'm going to start with the smallest dots here. Oh, we got a little hair there. Little small dots down here. And I don't want to go too wide with this because it's shooting out. And as you get further up, you get bigger dots. So that was Highland Heather. I'm going to just clean my aqua brush. I just take it and I squeeze some water down to the tip and then just wipe it on my scrap pad there. I have multicolors here apparently going on. I must have not cleaned it well last time. Okay, so now next color, let's go with some pumpkin pie. Again, squeezing the lid into the pad. I'm going to add just a little bit of water here. And it helps when you roll the tip of your painter into a point on your color, and then you can add small pieces here. Remember, get larger and larger as you get up towards the top. So there is our pumpkin pie. Again, I'll just clean my aqua painter. And then I'm going to go with Parakeet Party. We're going to repeat, a little water. Add some small dots down here at the bottom. Get larger as we go along. With the Parakeet Party, it's such a light color. You can actually go over like a bit on some of those other dots that you've already got on there. And it just looks multifaceted then. There we go. So there's our Parakeet Party in. Okay, we're going to get nice and bright with some Melon Mambo. Add some really bright pink in here. That's festive, right? So I'm going to add some pieces in here. See, all mine aren't like dots. They come out more like confetti shaped, just because I'm just pressing the tip down a bit. but I am going to add some bigger pieces in here. You can add just a few dots kind of on the outside of this. Just make sure you have some all the way up to the top of your cardstock. And just kind of give it a look, see where I might need another dot. And there we have it. There's our confetti. Just gonna clean my aqua painter and put it away. I love the aqua painter. I like the look of it. It's not as harsh as markers, so it gives you a nice look for this confetti. So I'm going to let that dry just for a moment, but I've got this flower stamp. The Elephant Parade stamp set comes with this great flower, and it's just a flower on a stem, and I'm going to use that in Memento Tuxedo Black. And I'm going to add some of these to our confetti. So like he's blowing flowers out along with the confetti. And I'm having them go different directions. So this one I'm going to do kind of upside down at the top. And this one facing the other direction. So just keep on turning it around. And there that is. I'm just going to kind of clean my stamp off just a bit. And now for the bottom, I want to add some of these flowers now in my grassy area. But I don't want that big long stem. So I'm not going to ink that up entirely. I'm just inking a portion of it up. And then I'm going to stamp these on the ground. I'm going to repeat that. I'm doing them different heights. That one didn't stamp very well. And a little bit there. I have one over here. And there's our little flowers in our grassy area. So we have all our little flowers in. We're done with that stamp. And those were all stamped with Memento Tuxedo Black. I don't know. I can't remember if I said. And now we're just going to get a white gel pen and add some highlights to things. And this is a Signo Uniball. And I got it from Amazon. Sometimes you just have to roll it a little bit to get it going. But I'm going to color in the insides of these flowers. It's really just a couple lines that you put in here. There's not much coloring to it. But this is a nice opaque marker, so it pretty much covers up that confetti behind it. And so it looks like it's in the confetti. So there's that. We put the white on those. Now I'm going to color those flowers on the ground in the same way, just the tops of them, the actual flower portion. This one I didn't stamp well, so I have like a double flower here, which is fine. I just colored both of them in. I don't sweat the small stuff. You just keep going. And you're going to find out it's just fine in the end. Nobody's critiquing your work. So there are those flowers all colored in. Now I want just some small dots around some of these flowers. Just like there's smaller white flowers down in the grassy area. And you want to do this fairly quickly because you don't want to get real symmetrical with them. So there's our little white dots. Now I'm going to add some like a shadow to my underneath my elephant. I'm going to take a post-it note here, and this is the sticky part. And we're going to put the sticky part, I've turned this upside down, we're going to put the sticky part to where you're just showing the bottom of his feet. Okay, and we're going to get our old olive here and our blending brush back out. And I'm going to add some color to the tip of my brush. And then I'm going to put this right at this Post-it note edge a bit. And I'm going to come out a little past his feet here because he has a trunk too that would be shading the ground. It probably looks like you're not doing much, but once you remove that Post-it note, you're going to see there's a shadow there. And if you get any on your flowers, you can always go over your flower again with your white gel pen. But there's the little shadow underneath him. So I got a little green on this flower here, so I'm just going to color over it just to bring it back to life a bit. There we go. And then I'm going to color in his little toenails with this white. 3 little dots on each foot. Here we go. And then I'm going to add highlights to the tops of these leaves. I'm just using a little circular motion at the top of each leaf. That's like the light is shining down on these leaves. And there's our highlights all done. So how about that scene? We have it all finished. I think it comes out so cute and so festive. Okay, so now we're going to start putting it together. This is such a simple layout we have going here. I have a basic white card base here that's 5.5 by 8.5, and then I folded it in half to create my quarter card. And on the front I took a 2" by 5.5" Parakeet Party strip, and I put it on the left side of the front of my cardstock. Now inside I put some panels in, and this I put a pumpkin pie panel in that is 4 by 5.25, then a Parakeet Party panel that's 3 3/4 by 5. So there is our card. We're going to back our main panel up with a pumpkin pie panel. Now this panel is only 1/8 of an inch larger than our main panel, so it's just a weenie layer around our main panel, but makes it pop with that pumpkin pie. So I'm just going to glue this on. You use whatever adhesive you like best. There we go. And you have a moment just to slide things around if you feel it's not straight. And I have that on, and now I'm going to just adhere it to the front of my card. I'm going to add some love inside. I think of my customer, Mary Ann Hart, every time I do that, because she is the one that got me to do it, because I seen her doing it and I'm like, that is just terrific. Put some love inside your card. So there is our card all finished. Isn't that cute? And also with this confetti, you could put in some rhinestones just to give it some glitter, maybe some sequins. It's entirely up to you. But there is our birthday card using the Elephant Parade stamp set. Thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it. Take care.